Hey, what is good? It is episode 16 of Player Life here in Tokyo. Um, yeah, another episode, another day. Time is flying by, crazy. But yeah, I'm sticking at it. I'm sticking to this schedule of live streaming for the time being. I guess I've committed to it. It kind of, it's kind of it kind of gets in the way of my game of my roster, but why not? But I've had a roster going for many years, so I can change things up to spread the knowledge. Um, Miguel is in the house. What is good? Good to see you here, man. Um, yeah, so yeah, because I'm live streaming here. It's 9 p.m. Japanese time, and you usually that's prime banging time. I usually have girls over. I used to have girls over at this time, but it's all good. They can come later or earlier. I make it work. I make it work. But yeah, so Miguel says, stick to your guns, man. It's good shit. You'll build a following soon enough. Yeah, maybe if YouTube doesn't delete my account, I'll make another one if they do. I'll uh I'll get on some other platform. Uh, Time for the gospel. What is up, Gray Fox in the house? I gotta get a Bible. Start preaching the Bible. Yeah, I mean, yeah, my parents will be proud preaching the Bible, some wisdom. I grew up as a Christian, as my parents used to take me to church every Sunday. God, I really hated it. Um, I'm a sinner now. I've turned my back on the church. I've you know but let's see who's in the A to Z says, which night game venues in Tokyo do you recommend for two white guys with no Japanese language ability, other than One Oak? Thinking of making a trip once travel reopens. Night. Well, there's One Oak. Anywhere in Roppongi. If you go to Roppongi, that's where a lot of what we call Gaijin hunters go. It's known. A lot of foreigners go to Roppongi. That was known as the nightlife area of Tokyo. Hmm. But you can just yeah. There's also the new place. You can go to There's a place in Shibuya called it's called C'est la vie. C'est la vie. This is another place that has a lot of foreign girls or Japanese girls that can speak English. But I mean, just check in with me when you're coming, because things change very quickly in Tokyo. I mean, you want to just yeah, you gotta just shoot me a message. I mean, who knows when is travel gonna open up? I don't mean to sound like negative about it, but I mean, who knows when is travel gonna open up? I had a real stark realization uh, last night, and I was thinking like, I think this is I'm really kind of I've turned a corner and just realized maybe this kind of thing is here to stay. These globalists aren't giving up. I mean, when has anything ever lasted this long? It's already November. I mean, yeah, we're coming up on a year. It's it's unbelievable. It's kind of, it's when you really think about it, it's like, whoa, these globalists, this new world order, the fourth industrial revolution. What else do they call it? Um, the Great Reset. This is, they're going for it. Like they're not giving up. Um, I don't know. It's bigger than us. I mean, we can, you know, today's episode is about, how game is a huge, gives you a huge advantage. And to be quite honest, if you're doing day game, it's like it's a form of rebellion. Uh, you're actually rebelling against society in a way, because with the way things are going, uh, it's just so like we're being just told that it's actually becoming illegal in some countries to leave your house, which is insane. That's the way it is in Ireland right now. You can't leave your house. You can leave your house, but you can't leave 5 kilometers like from your house. Um, this is insane, real insane. I was, I was talking to my brother. He wanted to go. He was trying to go for a surf, and the police turned him back from going for a surf. Uh, it's like insane. Like, yeah, you're gonna pick up the beer bug from going out into the like fresh air. You know, you're gonna catch it. It's insanity. It's fascism. It's crazy. So I mean, it encourages like, so when these governments come down heavier and heavier, it's like you have to rebel against it. Uh, Taj was good. Good to see you, bro. Yep. All good. Know your worth in the house. What is good, bro? Um, yes, yeah. So let's see. Miguel says they're talking about the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines coming up. Talking about mid 2021 return to normality. Hopes to that. Yeah, I mean, really, some people think that once people take the vaccine and all this, then we might get back to normal. But you still have to take a dodgy vaccine, which why should you be taking the vaccine when it's harmless to most people. The big thing in Japan now is they're trying to scare people into saying that it's coming back. This whole beer bug it's rising in numbers, and it's right. They're saying things like it's right. There's record numbers of asymptomatic cases. It's unbelievable, ridiculousness. It's asymptomatic, so you don't even know you have it. It's so weak that you don't even know you have it, and they're trying to spread it like, oh, there's all these people that don't even have any symptoms. It's so dangerous. That's how weak the thing is, that people don't even have any symptoms. And apparently they're threatening to bring in a new lockdown in Japan. I don't know. I all I know is I'm not gonna change. I'm gonna keep doing my thing. Uh, I've I've never. I'm proud to say I've never worn a mask on a subway. It's and that's quite something, because I mean I ride the subway every day, and I ride packed out subways, packed like crowded trains. It's Tokyo, and like every single, maybe one, maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks, I might see one guy that isn't, or a girl. But we're talking like one in 10,000 maybe don't wear the muzzle. Yeah, and I don't get any hassle for it. I don't get any hassle, but it's yesterday actually. Yesterday, some guy gave me a dirty look, and then I just stared him out of it. Because where you have to stand on the subway because it's literally wall to wall people crowded, like people are nudged in against you. But there was some guy who was sitting down, and I was standing above him, holding on to the rail, and he just looked up at me, and he shook his head, and he was like giving me a dirty look, and I just stared him out of it, and he didn't say anything then, but you know, I don't know, it is kind of shame, but that's the first time, to be honest, but yeah, so it is what it is. Who we got here? We got Spritzer in the house. What's up? Uh, we got Play on Woro. What's good? Yeah. So if you just you gotta understand that these kind of things might be here to stay, but it won't stop you from you can rebel against it. You can do things in your own way. Like I said, I mean, even when Tokyo was on lockdown, I was doing Daygame, and I was having success with Daygame. I mean, I always, you might get some resistance, like at the very start, because, like I said, women are the more extremely NPC, non-playable characters, and they lap up the propaganda. So you might have a bit of a harder shell to break through at the very start, but once you crack through and you kind of distract them away from it. Like I always tell guys, like this often occurs like online too. When you're dealing with women online, they will often bring up how dangerous or how scary the beer bug is, and you kind of just distract them away from it by saying something like, oh yeah, it's so yeah, you can just say something. You don't even have to agree with them. Whenever a girl brings up, I matched with a girl on some dating app, and they bring up the beer bug, I instantly just go to I say something like, yeah, 2020 sucks, right? And I just try, and then I change the subject. I say, I just ask some other question. So you distract them away from it. You don't get into a debate. You don't try and convince them. Never try and convince these women about the reality, about the truth. Never try and red pill them, because these women have been won over already by the propaganda. They will think you're a weirdo. They'll think you're just a strange dude. And once a chick thinks you're like she'll think you're like an outcast. So what you do is you just distract them away from it, and you will win them over by diverging from the subject, by not talking about it, basically. That's the best way to do it. Hey, we got Gray Fox. Yo, what's good? Mac, what's your advice for someone in their early 20s who intended to live in a foreign country like yourself? I mean, you just this situation is bigger than you, so it's you kind of have to, you can only do what you can do, basically. I mean, you got to figure out the I mean, if you got to figure out it depends on which kind of foreign country you want to live in. It depends on where you're at. Where are you at again, Gray Fox? Let me know in the chat. I mean, I've a friend in Ireland right now. Well, he's Irish. He's based in Ireland, and he's been traveling all over Europe, like for the past for the past month, about a month. I think he's actually even in he even went to Canada now. He's in Canada right now, so he's traveling around. You just got like there's you can still travel. Look at the laws. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, it depends on where you want to go. If you're in Europe, I mean, you can as far as I know, you can still travel around Europe. Who knows how long that's going to last? I mean, you know, I like there's going to be we're going to start getting these. It's pretty obvious to me now that we're going to probably have to deal with some kind of health passport. We're probably going to be required to get we're probably going to be required to get vaccinated in order to be able to travel. And this is unbelievable. This is bad news for me because I don't want to have to do that. I just don't. I just unbelievably skeptical about this whole situation. It's I think anyone using critical thinking should be extremely critical. It's. I mean, Alex Jones. I mean, everything. He's not always right, but he's right. He's been right about a lot. It's truly is. We are truly living in an information war situation. Great Fox in Malaysia. Yeah. I mean, you know, you got to try and figure it out. I mean, if it's possible, you can work things out. It depends on what country you want to go. Some countries will have stricter conditions than others. So, you know, uh, just do what you can do. That's all I'd say. You know, if you're going to be able to, if countries open up, then I mean, try and make it happen. If they don't, you gotta try and make things work where you're at. Because like I said, this kind of situation is bigger than us. We can only do what we can do. Try and milk the system. We're all getting shafted. We're all getting fucked by the big boys. So leave your morals at the door. Try and cheat the system. Try and milk the system, and don't apologize for doing it because we're all getting extremely shafted. And but I would, it's definitely a good time to travel in your early 20s. Your 20s are the thing about your 20s is the thing about your 20s is you a lot for me anyway. I knew they were valuable years, but it really for people that are in their early 20s, I'd really like to drive home to them how valuable those years are because they're your time to really. I don't know. It depends on what your goals in life are, but you can really. It's like it's your time to make mistakes. So you should really try and do as much as possible in your 20s and try and travel a lot. You should try and travel and take risks and just get active. Don't sit around. Don't get lazy. Like you should be out there. Like, and if it's possible to travel, do it. If it's not, then make things work where you're at. It's kind of a messed up. It's a messed up world we live in now. But yeah, you can make it work. Yeah. So Know Your Worth says I went to Europe from the US this summer. Yeah, cool. You were in Europe. Europe. I mean, Europe is a there's a lot of countries like Ireland and England and uh, I don't know. They're probably not I'm not too fond of those parts, but you go to Eastern Europe and like countries like Czech Republic, Prague. Um, Czech Republic is yeah, Prague, and where else was I? Women in Prague are unbelievably hot. Um, they're probably some of the hottest white women I've ever seen. They're like a different breed to Western white women. So where else? Countries like Ukraine. Uh, these like kind of yeah, Eastern European countries have seriously hot women, and they're so different to like Western white women. They're really they're much more beautiful, much more feminine. Where else was I? Yeah, in Hungary. Hungarian women are, yeah, they're unbelievably hot too. Um, yeah, where was I? Just before I came to Japan, where did I go? I went to a few different. I was in Berlin. Berlin was ridiculous. I mean, Berlin's a if if you're looking to party, now is obviously not a good time, but I don't know, man. Berlin was a good time when I went there. It was all nightclubs. God, man, it's really, I don't know. I don't even know if clubs would be open in Berlin right now, but yeah, hopefully things open up. But I think they're going to come down hard. I really think they're going to try and enforce it. I think yeah, we're all going to need, if we want to travel, if we're going to want to be able to travel, they're probably going to bring in some health passport where we will be required to take some kind of vaccine, which really sucks, you know. But yeah, it is what it is. What you see? What are your thoughts, experience with German chicks, Germany? German chicks. I've had I've hooked up with a few German chicks. They're very liberal. They're very liberal in a in kind of a, to be quite honest, in a very sexual way. Actually, they're very down to bang. I think I've hooked up with about three German chicks in my life. Uh, yeah, and they were all, I had a good time. Um, it's very they're very open that way. You know, and Berlin is Sin City. It's like anything is goes down in that city. There's brothels, there's swinger clubs, there's like there's these things called mega brothels in Berlin. I've never been. To be quite honest, I was curious. I would actually, maybe I would actually go. I don't know, just because it sounds insane. It's like there's these. They're like four. Apparently, they're like 4-star, like luxurious hotels, except they're like extreme, like filled with these extremely beautiful, like Russian and Eastern European women, and they are actually they are actually extremely beautiful. Like what, I don't encourage guys to use prostitution, but um obviously not. Like, I encourage guys to do game, but when I was in Berlin, I was out clubbing with friends, so we weren't going to brothels or anything. We were out having a good time. But you know when you're walking on the street, you'll have this, you know like actual streetwalkers, but the most beautiful streetwalkers you'll ever see in your life. And it's so funny. It's like you have this like stunningly beautiful woman come up to you and go, "Hey," like she'll walk up to you, like they're wearing a uniform, and she'll ask you to come and play with her, or like come and drink with her, and like they're obviously asking you to come and fuck. But it was quite fascinating because they were actually super hot. Like they didn't look like sex workers at all. But that's just Berlin. It's Sin City, um, crazy city. You don't see that in Japan. Um, in Japan, there's a weird phenomenon goes on here. I don't know. Um, in Yeah, so in Japan you definitely don't have like hot women like soliciting on the streets. But you have these like middle-aged like Vietnamese or like Chinese women like dressed like in the most unattractive, like they just look like middle-aged, I don't know, like the most unattractive. They don't look they don't look like sex workers, but you'll be walking down the street in Tokyo in certain nightlife areas, and they'll be offering you like blowjobs and stuff. And it's what the fuck. If you're gonna be as whatever a hooker, at least try and look good. I mean, they look like, I don't know, they're just wearing jeans and a hoodie or something. I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know. It's a Japanese thing, but it's a far cry from Berlin. Good lord, these like unbelievably hot like Russian and like Ukrainian and Eastern European hookers like asking you to bang, but yeah, it's not in Japan. They're like middle-aged Vietnamese, Chinese, Filipino. I don't know. They just, I don't know who the hell. I don't know who in the good goddamn world goes and pays them to suck them off. Good lord, they just, yeah, it's weird. It's like I'm just always like I'm good. Like just, yeah, I'm fine. I don't need that. I don't need your services. And they're so persistent. It's like they'll follow you down. I'm like, fuck off, get the fuck away from me. The better, I do not need that. Yeah, it's weird. Like at least try and look good. Like what are you doing? Like they're wearing these like little they just look so unappealing. And you're trying to sell yourself. You're trying to sell your body. You just don't even try. I don't know who the fuck. Who? I'd love to know who goes to them. I'd love to know, do they actually get customers? Like someone has a fetish for like the most plain, dressed down, like people ever. But you know, they're not. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird side note. I got rambling about the hookers that you see in Japan. There's so. And to look at them, you wouldn't even think they're hookers. That's the interesting thing. You don't even they don't look. They just look like, I don't know what they look like. They look like a middle-aged woman going for a walk in the park, and they're asking you to, they're trying to, they're like openly saying, "Oh, blowjob, like, oh, massage, good time." I'm like, what the fuck? Like, get the hell away from me. Yeah, I mean, simps probably. Yeah, who's yep, simps. Simps probably going. I don't know who goes. I'd probably some really perverted Japanese salarymen probably maybe have a fetish. Let's think about guys. Guys. I guess some guys can get pretty depraved. I imagine it's probably like I think guys are whatever kind of fetish there is. There's some guy out there that is into it. That's like it's the one thing you gotta say about guys. There's a lot of weird dudes out there. Yeah, Miguel says the thirst is real. The thirst is serious. Like Japan is a very dystopian place in a lot of ways. Like there's cafes and stuff that where you can go to cuddle with girls because people are so lonely. Or apparently some like Japanese guys will pay girls just to go on dates with them and stuff. And you see it quite regularly. You see it because you'll see a really cute looking girl, like excessively cute, with an extreme dork. Like, so they're definitely not dating, and it's also, it doesn't look like a sugar daddy situation. Yeah, it just looks like he paid her, like, you know. And I know this is a thing. There's places that offer services, to guys that want to go on a date with a cute looking girl. It's really weird. Um, yeah, and then on the other end of the scale, you'll have like old guys in their 50s. Salary man, like people work. Guys in suits. They look old. They're like maybe sometimes even 60s. You'll see them with like really young looking girls, really suspiciously young looking, and it's dodgy as it's dodgy as fuck when these girls will always have they'll always have a Gucci bag or something. And then yep, sugar daddy going on here, and really probably illegal sugar daddy, probably illegal. Some dodgy stuff goes on in Japan, that's for sure. Um, yeah, it's Brent is in the house. What is up? Uh, Rob Mash Nation. What is your experience with Hungarian girls? I've never hooked up with a Hungarian girl, but I was there. I was in Hungary. Last time I was in Hungary, I was with my with a girlfriend. I went over to Hungary with a girlfriend, and it would have been a lot better if I was there alone. Nah, it was a good time, but I mean, in terms of the girls in Hungary are super hot. I mean, yeah, like yeah, Hungary's capital is Budapest. Yeah, but there was a lot of hot girls around. I mean, I'd love to go back there as a single guy. Um, yeah, I remember years ago I was in Spain, and I was out, like I used to skate. I was like a fruit birder, rollerblader, and I bumped into these Hungarian dudes, and I was about 15. I was about 15, and they were around 17, and we went out and we were skating around, and we were just talking away, and then they invited me back to their apartment or whatever, their place. They were visiting as well. They were on holiday too, but they had rented apartment or whatever, and I was like 15 years old, and we went into their apartment, and the Hungarian guys, for some reason, this place was right near the beach. But for some reason, their sisters were with them, and their sisters were like 18, 19. One of the guy's sisters and her friends, and they came in from the beach. It was right along the beachfront, and the girls were wearing like string bikinis. Like, I'm talking, this was in Spain. So if you've ever been to Spain, these beaches. These beaches are, a lot of girls will just wear a G-string, and that's it. And she'll be topless and G-string. But these Hungarian girls were wearing like just like a G-string, and like they were wearing a top and everything, but that tiny bikini. And I thought like they were his, his their girlfriends or something, but and they were like, no, that's his sister, and they were like really weirdly comfortable with his sister being in the room with like wearing like string bikinis and her friends. And I was 15 years old, and I'd never seen a naked girl like up that close, or like practically naked. And I just always remember how, and I was like, oh my god. And I don't know, they were like, the other Hungarian guy was kind of joking around and saying, "Oh, his sister's hot, right?" I was like, "Yeah, she's really hot," and he was just telling me, "Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of hot girls in Hungary." I always remember they were like smoking hot girls, and yeah, but I don't know. Europe's good in that way. They get chicks get naked on the beaches. It's a good time. It'd be a good place to grow up. In Ireland, it's just like, I don't know. The climate is not does not contribute to that kind of nudity. Let's see. Let's see. What are the benefits of day games since I can't do night game in Midwest City? Uh, I mean, if you can't do night game, what else are you gonna do? You're either gonna do online or you're gonna do day game. I mean, you got two options. The thing about day game is the reason it gives you such an advantage is because, I mean, I was just talking to a friend today, and he was saying, like, he sent me some screenshots of a hot chick, and he was saying, the chick had her Instagram on the on her profile, and he was saying, like, oh, no one really gets with chicks like this. She's just promoting her Instagram. And I was like, dude, she is absolutely trying to, promote her Instagram, but she's killing two birds with one stone. These chicks are banging. But the thing is, these chicks are banging top percentage guys. Like, online is extremely competitive. So it's all about genetics and having good photos. So you got, when guys say, look at these girls on dating apps, and like, they're never matching with them, and they're presuming that no one is banging them, it's a cope. It's a coping mechanism to try and deal with the fact that they're not banging them. But what I said to him was, you're never gonna match. You're not gonna match. Me or him, we're not gonna match with girls like that online. But I've banged plenty of girls like that in from doing game, because the rules are different in real life. These girls are bombarded with, online is a piece of cake to these women, but they're still interested in real life experiences. So if you look good, if you're an above average guy, but you're not genetically at the peak. Like, say if you're a decent looking guy, or you're not hideous, and you dress well, and even average guys can pull real hot chicks in from day game for sure. Even below average guys can, as long as they make up for it in style, or the way they speak, and their confidence. But my point is, you're not going to match with these chicks online unless you're genetically gifted or whatever, or whatnot. Not saying it's not worth having good, making your presence on dating apps as good as possible. You definitely should, because once you do, I mean, you'll still you. My Bumble was blown up last week. So it is worth it. It is worth it, putting in the effort to make your profile as good as possible. However, I still realize that there's chicks that I'm just never going to match with online. It's not a defeatist attitude. It's not at all. Online is fun. I mean, it can be very good. You can get home deliveries, but there's certain girls that you're not going to match with. You don't. Maybe I know I don't fit in. I'm not a top percentage in the looks department guy, and I'm not confident about my looks. When I dress up, I feel fine. I feel good. I feel confident about my looks, but I recognize that I'm not a giga chad. I'm not like, I'm just not. But at the same time, I'm still confident enough to be able to do, I'm just honest. I just like truth. I just interested in the truth. And the thing is, when you put yourself in front of a woman, and you're dressed well, you're confident, you can get these hot women for sure. And not only that, you can choose them. You're choosing them. Sure, you're going to get rejected, like, maybe a lot, or depend as you're learning, as you're getting used to it. But eventually, you're going to start you will get with some of the really hot girls that you game. You will get with them, and that this is I've had, like, real life experiences where I know this to be a fact, where I have I've lived in a certain area, or I've known girls that didn't swipe right on me. I know they didn't because I saw them on the dating app. Then I approached them in a bar, or girls that I would have seen on the dating app, and then I hooked up with them in real life as I gamed with them, and then I would say, oh, I saw you on that dating app. You didn't swipe right on me, and they'd be like, oh yeah, I saw you too. Hmm. They make some excuse, but this is the reality. This is the world we live in. It is what it is. But these chicks have tons of access to just like you know any kind of guy they want basically, and they often choose the physically very attractive ones. But um in real life, if you're even if you're reasonably attractive and you dress well and you're confident, you learn game, boom, it's extremely beneficial. You can basically get hotter girls from game. If you're a giga chat, if you're ripped and jacked, and you make a all the girls come to your house, then whatever, you've hit the jackpot. Good for you. You don't need to learn day game. But the majority of guys, they're not in the extremely good looking category. I mean, it's only a small percentage of dudes. So, and you still just want to be able to have game. Um, yeah. So, yes. Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, if you lack congruency, you're gonna flip some alarm switch in women. Let Mac expand on it, but you've got to be aligned in how you come across. Yeah, that's for sure. You just have to be you have to be congruent in how you come across. I mean, if chicks can spot fakery. I mean, sometimes you see these guys doing day game. They're filming doing day game, and maybe someone's coaching them, and they're fed some kind of script, and it just comes across as like the guy is trying to read some badly act out some lines from a script. And this comes across as the girl will feel not only creeped out, but she'll feel kind of like she's being scammed. Like she'll feel like she might not even realize she's been hit on, like, because it can be so forced that she feels like this guy's trying to rob me or something, because like this guy's trying to like read a script. So you have to be you have to be authentic. You have to be real. Like you have to just like cut out the bullshit, and just you have to build a thicker skin. So get used to like get a few rejections under your skin, and getting rejected is healthy. It builds up character. So you need to be authentic, and you need the thing about my game is it's very authentic. I mean, I don't I'm not trying to like cheat. I'm pretty straight up. I'm pretty straightforward. It's very down the line, very simple. It's I just make an approach, and I don't worry about. I really don't care uh, about failure. I'd shoot my shot, and I just think what's the worst that can happen? I mean, I'm trying to. She's hot. If I'm approaching a girl, I mean, I'm interested. She ticks off some boxes, so I want to try my shot, and try and get more intimate with her. And it's a fantastic way to get laid a lot. So more guys should do it. And in these times, it's not only does it get you laid, but it's genuinely cool, because it's like you're rebelling against this like new world order, like build back together, fourth industrial revolution, like I don't know, stay home bullshit. Just get out of here with all that. Like, just I'm not gonna be, turned into some like slave to the state. You know. Don't you do Rob says, don't you do Nightgame too, Mike? Yeah, I do Nightgame. Yeah. Nightgame, I mean Nightgame, you can do Nightgame on the street too. I mean, Nightgame on the street can be good. I mean, Nightgame on, when you're doing Nightgame out and about, it can escalate, in ways which you can't really do during the daytime, because it's kind of well, you can. I mean, nothing's ruled out. That's the thing of it. There's not really any rules, but when it's night, if you're in a spot where it's busy, and there's bars and restaurants and clubs, you can escalate quickly. But I mean, I go out. I go out occasionally to nightclubs and bars. Not it's not my go-to, but I like it. It's fun. It can be fun to let off some steam. You can get really loose, but thing about Nightgame, it's not for the meek. It's not for meek guys. You gotta be really like thick-skinned and aggressive and dominant. These girls hate nice guys. Like, these girls are repelled by nice guys, and there's so much. You see it, like you see the crazy hypocrisy. You see the fembots or the feminazis. You'll see these girls like, and these kind of mean girls that are also, these mean girl types that are like, like, the thing is, the reality is, not all feminists are ugly, to be honest. Some of them are really hot, and that makes it even more annoying, but that makes their behavior even more obnoxious and annoying, because the thing is, like, it's so funny because they'll preach about online about how men should behave, and constantly shit on guys, and they'll say that men are this, that, and the other, and the reality is, like, these girls will call the cops on a guy that is too nice to her. She'll me too a guy that's too nice to her. Like, these girls get with the bad boys. Like, these girls get with guys that are like unapologetic and like, aggressive. Like, you see it, and you'll see it nowhere else other than, you'll especially see it in nightclubs. I mean, I've seen it so many times. Not all feminists are ugly, but all ugly girls are feminists. That's a very good way to put it. I like it a lot. Yeah, that's very true. And these girls can be very, you want to vet girls like this. You don't want a girl like this as your plate even. I mean, I don't have girls that are feminists in my rotation. I'll never have that. I'll do the date once for sure. I won't exclude. I won't discriminate against the chick because she's a feminist. But I'll smash and dash. But I won't put her in my in my rotation, because you're asking for trouble. Then I'm not gonna. I don't. These girls. Once you spot the red flags, recognize it, and like on last Monday. Today is Tuesday. So last week, Monday, I had a girl that had a lot of red flags. So I was like, yo, I'm done. No, so we did the deed. We maybe did it twice, and I was like, okay, I'm done. Like, she can, I made my excuses. Well, it was in here, but I was like, yo, I have an early date tomorrow. I think you're gonna have to leave. Like, get out. But she was I could tell this girl would be trouble. I just she had spent a lot of time in she grew up I think in America, and I wasn't. She was dropping some things about some SJW comments and things, and I was like, not gonna be around that. So you want to vet girls to some degree. Let's see. How many girls do you usually have on rotation, Mac? I'd always have a solid three, and then ones would come and go. Like I said, always, and then I'd sometimes they get replenished, but I'd always have a safe like three that are there, and then one might drop off, and then a new one replaces, and then there's ones that I just smash and dash, and so it's plenty. Yes, so yeah. Um, let's see. Brent says, I recently FaceTimed this feminist who's a doctor. All she wanted to do was argue and fight me. Yeah, these women are the ones that most they want to be dominated the most. They really they really have some serious issues going on because they're just so I think they just want to be put in their place. They're looking for a guy to put them in their place, and that's why she's looking to fight because she's just wishing some guy would just dominate her and put her in her place because she has this authority in her job. So these girls want to be. These girls usually like the most aggressive sex, and yeah, they're just miserable. I mean, they're all they're all really gonna you know they're all really gonna pay the price ultimately. Um, this generation, millennials, uh, they are really gonna start to realize what they signed up for. Um, all the girls my age are starting to come. Like all the girls I grew up with, a lot. I don't know one that is. I don't really look at them. I don't. But I still have my old Facebook, and I kind of I know that most 90% of them are not like married or anything, and they're my age, so I'm like 32. So I mean, what their prospect, their wall, like they've all slammed into the wall hard. So I mean, what kind of guy with his head screwed on his shoulders is gonna wife a girl up like that? So even the chance of them being able to procreate is not looking good. And I'm sure if you asked a lot of these girls, they'd say, "Oh yeah, I don't, I don't want to I don't want to have a family or have kids." But then if you got into if you really got the truth out of them, they would tell you that yeah, they're miserable in their lives or whatever, and what they'd rather work some minimum wage crappy office job, go back to their like crappy little apartment, and with their little cat, and eat Uber Eats, and I don't know, just be miserable. I mean, women gave up. They had the best. Western women had everything going for them. I mean, they just took too much, and they just kept pushing the envelope and kept on the man, and the simp men. Western men are also to blame. So let's not always blame women. Like let's blame men too, because men are the guys that we're ultimately the ones who allow things to happen, and Western societies allowed, and simps, they thought the more freedom women have, then the more sex we're gonna get. But then it gets to a point where they then the women start getting the power. The pendulum swings, and women, right now it's like all the women have all the agency, and the men are just like begging to try and get laid. And we just see such disgraceful, pathetic behavior from so many men. I mean, it's like, I see it all the time. I mean, sometimes I'm so repulsed by people that I grew up with, how they simp on Facebook, and these guys, so-called guys with like extremely low T counts, like the testosterone of a, I don't know, of a, just super weak dudes that it's so obvious that they're using this strategy to attract females, but females are repulsed by their simping, and these guys will pretend to to like them, but you can tell that they'll guys that do this, guys that simp, and to try and gain female attention, will never experience true female attraction. Um, Even if the guy is good looking, even if the guy is really good looking, she might be physically attracted to him at the start, but by his simping, she'll get more and more repulsed by him, by just how pathetic he is, by not being able to stand his ground and have authority. So simping is never the answer. It says, how do you get rid of girls without consequences? My mate does fake beta game to disgust her and leave. What do you do? I mean, when I when I get rid of a girl, I just tell them. I'll just tell them. I like sometimes when a girl starts to really maybe really like me, or try and get too attached. I mean, I don't really do anything. It's just not, if they want to meet too much, I'll just be like, oh, I'm busy. I'll keep making excuses, and then they'll eventually drop off. I mean, that's what happened with a lot of the girls. When they get too attached, they'll be like, yeah, they'll want to meet on Monday, and then they'll want to meet on Wednesday, and then they'll want to meet on Friday. But I'd be like, oh, I might meet them on Monday, but I'm not going to meet them again for another week because I have other girls coming around, or I'm busy. So I just make excuses. I mean, they'll get the picture. They will get the picture if you keep, because girls have to join my schedule. I don't like changing my schedule for them. So whenever I'm free, I'm inviting them. I don't like them asking me when they can come and see me. I'm like, are you free? Like, what day is today? Today's Tuesday. So I'll be like, tomorrow night I'll hit up. I'll arrange when I'm free. So whenever a girl tries to come and try and invite herself into my schedule, it's kind of annoying because I want to be in control. But trust me, they'll fall off if you keep making excuses. If you just if you don't want to see them every week, then say, I'm busy this week. And then if you still don't want to see her next week, I'm busy this week. I'm just keep saying you're busy. That's what I do. Or you can just tell them you have other girls. I'm meeting another girl, like whatever. Like sometimes I do that. Like sometimes they know. Most of them know I see other girls. So because I don't tell the girls I'm with that I'm exclusive. Yeah, I don't lie to the. I don't not out of any moral. I don't have any moral reason to. I'm not, but I don't need to lie and pretend that they're my girlfriend. Yeah, I just they know that I'm single and we're not in a relationship, so it's all good. No, your worth says she's probably pissed she has to actually work and it's showing through. Yeah, I mean, of course they're pissed that they have to work. They have to go and like do some hard job, some shitty low paid job. I don't know. If it's a doctor, maybe it's not low paid, but it's really hard, long hours. I mean, they're it's just it's not really. I think most of them would prefer to be at home and raise a family, have kids, but society has changed, and now they're gonna let them do it. Let them have a shot at this working life and see how much they enjoy it. You know, they'll come around and realize, but it's too late. The tragedy for these women is, once they realize, it'll be too late. And they'll have missed it, for eternity. You don't get a second chance. Life, you only get one shot in this life, and this generation of women have really shot themselves in the foot, and they've swallowed the propaganda hook, line, and sink, and they will, they're going to be pretty miserable. I mean, they're gonna have a very long, long life. I mean, the thing is, women's men age like wine, women age like milk. I mean, women's like window of like sexuality, where they're like their sexual peak, it's really short, guys. I mean, when they're like eligible females, like when they're like on the market, like 18 to, when their peak years, like, let's be honest here, let's be real, like let's say, like, a woman's like, when she has a lot of power over men, is when she's 18 to 25. And yet, I'm not saying women aren't beautiful after, of course they can still be beautiful after 25, but they're certainly on the decline. They're on the decline after 25 for sure. Some white girls, it's not even some, especially Western girls, are on the decline before 25. Some girls start declining like at 23. Like, they're like, they're a year after graduating college, maybe. Girls graduate maybe 22, 23. They've started working. Some of them look a lot older. Like, they're definitely on the decline. I've seen it for sure. I've met 23-year-olds that are definitely like on the decline. So, no, when girls are like, when they're like 30, they're definitely like, that's like, it's a short period. But guys, we only start coming up when we're in our 30s. Like, a lot of guys will only come into their own, like, really start reaching their peak in their mid to late 30s. And that's a reality. Even, guys genuinely look a lot like, I think I look better now than I did when I was like 21. I definitely think so. In fact, I know I do. I know I look better now than when I was 21. I do, like, objectively look better. Like, I'm more muscular. I'm the beard looks better. It's just a thing, and girls will admit this. I mean, it is what it is. It's a one of those harsh realities. It's just it is what it is. But I mean, I'm not complaining about it one bit. Yeah, guys, if you're in here, like Know Your Worth says, smash the like button. It does help. It does help with the old algorithm. YouTube deleted one of my YouTube deleted this stream before I even started it, because I didn't even think it was that raunchy, but it was a pic. She was fully clothed on a bed, but they were like, they were like, this is too sexual or whatever, and they deleted it. But I'll have to be careful with my thumbnails in future, but it sucks, but it is what it is. All right, Brent, peace out. Catch you later, bro. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna call it right here too. But yeah, it's been good, and I will be back again tomorrow night as usual, Monday to Friday. Let me just check out the links in the description box. Check out the links to my website, and as usual, like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you guys tomorrow night. Peace out. Bye bye.